Hello art friends, my name is Fleshwad and welcome to the channel, and happy Thanksgiving. Today I have another Drawing Your Creepypasta OCs video for you, Thanksgiving themed. So sit back, maybe with your plate of turkey and ham and mashed potatoes and stuffing and I hope you enjoy. Make sure to watch this video in the dark, with the lights off and your headphones on for the best viewing experience. Or if you are at a family gathering today, watch with a loved one. It might help to ease your terror. Our first Thanksgiving Creepypasta OC was submitted by Writing Times Shaylee, who has submitted a story before, and I love your writing, so I chose you again. Usually doesn't happen, but here we go. And it is titled, Thanksgiving Killed My Friend. I'd always tried to have an out-of-body experience, ever since my friend Jaden told me about it. He said he had been trying recently, and he wanted to hear my experience, so I took him up on his offer. He gave me psychological books to help clear my mind and raise the chances of me succeeding. I'd been trying over and over right before I went to sleep, though it never happened. I meditated, read books, and visited the library more than normal just to check out more books. Though all of it was a waste. It never happened, and I began to doubt all of Jaden's scary stories of him wandering out of his body into the woods and being able to feel pain and touch the trees. It all sounded so interesting and cool. I wanted to try all of the same things he did, but I could never succeed. Though the day before Thanksgiving, I got a text from Jaden. I remember it word by word. It was haunting and mortifying. I never expected him to text something like this, or even for something to happen to him. All this out-of-body experience was for fun. No means should it be dangerous. But this one text changed my perspective. It read, "Cameron, right now I'm out of my body. I went back outside again, but this thing, a monstrous beast, its back towards me and its bones were visible. It seemed like its skin was deteriorating. It had such a foul smell. I came back to my house immediately, but it saw me. It's after me. Help me, please, Cameron, please. Please." Myself, never experienced out-of-body wandering. I brushed it off as a joke. "Good one, Jaden. I know this is all a fib, and I'll see you at school tomorrow." But he never came. I wandered over to his house, which was covered in police tape. That's when I realized it wasn't a joke. I had to go support him. He's my best friend after all. When I went inside, police were speaking to his parents. "What's going on? Where's Jaden?" I asked as his parents frantically looked over to me. "Cameron, we're so sorry," they told me. They started to sob. "He's in the hospital. He still has a pulse, but he hasn't woken up yet. We have no idea what's wrong." The news, being shocked to my 14-year-old self, I sprinted out of their house in fury, engulfed in rage. I locked myself in my bedroom. I had to do this. I had to find Jaden in my sleep. Before I knew it, I had risen out of my body. Groans from the woods across the street echoed through the emptiness of my neighborhood. I knew I found him. I had to have found him. When I made my way there, that's when I saw something no 14-year-old boy should see. Something nobody should see. It was the gruesome scene of Jaden. His limbs scattered across the stone wall. His eyes gouged out, his nose cut off, his teeth picked out of his gums, his tongue pulled out of his mouth, his hands and legs stapled to the wall with rusting nails. A sick feeling overcame my stomach. He groaned something, I didn't know what. I whispered into the place where his ear should have been. "Ruh," he said back. "Ruh?" I repeated. "Run?" He nodded fiercely. I took out a nail out from his hand. "I can't leave you, Jaden. You're dying," I whispered back to him, taking his hand and grabbing my shirt with his last remaining strength, or maybe adrenaline. "Run. He's coming. The monster. The beast. You can't die in this world. I am forever tortured now. Run. For my sake." Words clearer than day. I don't know how he did it, but I listened. As I began to walk away, I heard a faint whisper. "Beware of Thanksgiving." Rustling of a bush and shaking of trees, and I started to move as fast as I could towards my house. I looked back. I wish I didn't. I wish I had continued to run and didn't look back. But what I saw was heart-shaking. A monster with eyes stuck on him from all of his victims. And followed victims were placed on each of his spikes growing out of his back, leaving two, one for me and one for Jaden. His erratic smile, his teeth made from the bones of animals, birds, fish, lizards, and others. Wishbone stabbed into his arm, his green and red skin mixed with blood and leaves. And as I hovered over my body came no weight, and I woke up. All I could think of was that Thanksgiving killed my friend. Now I'm 15, thinking of Jaden every day. He was cut off life support a week ago, after being in a coma for a year and not making a recovery. After the incident, I was diagnosed with PTSD. And every day, I still think about how Jaden must be suffering in that never-ending loop of a nightmare. How nightmarish. It's Thanksgiving again. Our next Thanksgiving Creepypasta OC was submitted by Retro Maddie and is titled Stuffed Like a Turkey. It was 1 week till Thanksgiving. Nori Lavender lived in a small town. Her neighborhood was nice. Everyone was getting ready for Thanksgiving. Their tiny homes close to the streets were packed with cars from people's families. Nori loved Thanksgiving. It was a reason to eat good food and be with family. The only house on the block that wasn't cheerful was the Ramona family house. Sometimes Nori thought that house was most likely abandoned, but then she'd see the Ramona daughter walk out. Nori was polite and waved. In return, she got a grossed out look from the daughter. So Nori stopped trying, till that day happened. It was just 24 hours till Thanksgiving, and the Boris family was getting every last thing ready. Some of her family had already shown up. Nori walked into the kitchen to help out when her mother asked, "Nori, why don't you go invite the Ramona family over?" Nori gulped. "The creepy horror family? Yeah, no thanks." Somehow, her mother managed to convince her. Nori put on a sweater to avoid the cold fall breeze from hitting her pale arms, and she walked up to the hill, to the gross, dark, and lonely house of the Ramona family. She went up their driveway, getting a weird feeling, a feeling that she was being watched. Even the trees in their driveway seemed to be looking at her. She stepped up on the porch, looking for a doorbell or something. She didn't find anything, so she knocked with her hand 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. No one answered right away, and Nori was about to turn around when she heard the creak of the door. She looked up. Then everything went black. When Nori woke up, she was in a vintage-looking fall-themed dress. She went to move her arms, only to find out that they were tied above her head. Nori panicked, looking around at her surroundings. She seemed to be in a kitchen, only the ovens were gigantic, and the counters looked in a desperate need of cleaning. She struggled to get out of the chains that held her up, but nothing worked. She heard footsteps down the stairs. It was the whole Ramona family. Each looked equally sinister, with the same large smiles on their faces. She heard the wife tell what Nori thought to be the chef. "Use all of her." Nori screamed, "What are you gonna do to me?" The family smiled evilly and left, leaving Nori with the cook. He said they needed something to replace the turkey. "You'll do." The Lavender family was freaking out, trying to find Nori. Each member of the family was looking in different parts of town, when the Boris mother came across a note on their porch saying, "Thanks for your daughter. She was delicious. Best Thanksgiving ever. We'll make sure to stuff more of your family next year." Our next OC was submitted by Creepypasta Claw's Kiss. Claw's Kiss. And I will read the title afterwards. Jace was a little 14-year-old girl. She loved Thanksgiving. She did not live in a happy family. Her dad abused her and her mom hung herself. Jace hated leaving her room. She would sit on the bed and think about Thanksgiving. Jace had blonde, short hair and black lipstick, eyeshadow, and blush. She had dark hazelnut eyes and always wore a black choker and a gray tank top that had blood stains from her dad stabbing her with a kitchen knife. When it was Thanksgiving, she came out of her room. Her dad was happy to see her. Jace approached her dad and started gagging. Her dad was alarmed. Her throat tore open and a mouth was in her neck. She swallowed her dad whole. She said in a quiet voice, "I am stuffed with humans." If you didn't guess, the title was Stuffed with Humans. Our last Thanksgiving Creepypasta OC was submitted by Sakura Minuri. Autumn was a little girl that loved her family and really wanted to surprise them on Thanksgiving. But her family hated her deep inside. They were terrified of her eyes, since one was orange and the other red, for her family was a very Christian household. They thought her eyes were from Satan himself. Autumn woke up and got ready for Thanksgiving dinner. She put on her favorite jean dress that her father gave her before he went to war. Her father was the only one who adored her eyes. She headed downstairs as her mother got everything ready. "Hello, Mama." Her mother ignored her. She didn't mind as her cousins glared her and made a plan to finally get rid of her. They lured her into the basement and one of them grabbed a bat. Autumn acted like she didn't know what was going on, as the cousin with the bat swings it at Autumn, but she dodged it and started to choke him. The others were terrified and ran up the stairs and tried to open the door. It was a door that needed a key in order to lock it. They thought they didn't lock it. They were right, but it was locked. They looked at Autumn, who was holding the key around her neck. Autumn killed the kids one by one with the bat they tried to kill her with. She finally looked at one of her cousins and said, "I hope you are thankful that I was able to surprise you." Autumn said with a happy smile. With that, she killed the last kid and walked upstairs covered in blood as she slit her aunt and uncle's throats. Her mother in pure terror ran upstairs. Autumn followed. "Stay back, you monster!" Her mother was pulling out a cross and held it up. "Mama, be thankful for this day. Today is the day I'm happy." After that, she stabbed her mother multiple times in the chest. Autumn still wasn't done. She dragged all the bodies and set them in seats around the table that they were gonna feast. Autumn said her prayers and started to eat with all the dead bodies in their seats. "What a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner," Autumn said. And that is all of the Thanksgiving OCs I have for you. I tried to put more time into the background of these drawings, which I'm not sure I completely like. With that being said, I would really appreciate it if you could vote in the poll above if you'd like to see more background stuff, or if I should just stick to designing the character and draw simple backgrounds. I'd love your opinion. Make sure to like the video if you like the art, and subscribe if you haven't. Hope everyone is having a happy Thanksgiving and eating lots and lots of stuffing. I am now opening up slots for Christmas-themed Creepypasta OCs. Comment your OC in the comment section of this video using the keyword Christmas to make it easier to find. Just a quick reminder that I am making short horror comics on Amino. I already have 2 stories live as we speak, and a 3rd one goes up tomorrow. I have so much fun creating these short comics and also inking them, which, you know, on here I only do digital art. I actually do have 2 pieces that I would really like to read a story in the background, and I would really like one of you guys to come up with that story. So I don't know if I should show the picture and then have you guys comment a story, because then that would ruin the picture for you. Or if I should maybe just explain some key elements of the picture. Yeah, I think that's what I will do. So I will explain some key elements of that picture. I'm gonna do this after Christmas though, because I really want my next Creepypasta video to be Christmas themed. So after Christmas, maybe in the Christmas video, I will share some key elements and you guys can comment a story, and then we'll do that. That sounds really cool actually. I'm excited now. But yeah, I have so much fun creating these short comics and would really love to share them with you, so please head on over there, and if you do, leave a comment saying, I love stuffing. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, bye.